I can see it now.
Welcome to the
Thank
week
you.
4 in review with Maddie in the quiet zone outside. I've always wanted to draft from my pool, but that never became a reality. But this will have to be a close second, is doing the review from the spa. So 95
Is doing a
degrees.
video in silence from your spa.
This is not silence. I'm speaking. I can hear you very clearly. I'm sure you can hear me. And I'm sure when I listen back to this, the rest
Okay.
of the league will be able to hear me. So are you ready to proceed, or did
Okay.
you have any
Well,
thoughts on the pictures I have chosen for this week? And why is there a green box in the middle? That's weird.
I don't know. No, I got nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Nothing to
Okay.
say on these.
Okay. Let's see if I go over here. How do I click to the next one? There we go. First up is you and the halfback Mustangs, or 1/4 Mustangs, after his score against you.
Well, this was an interesting one. It was an immediate rematch of last week's beating I took. I was able to avenge that loss and come back with a win. So we are 1-1 in division play. I almost scored 200. I like it. 198. To Clemens is healthy, but just not enough. 157. We split the games in regular season, and we'll do the tiebreaker in playoffs, like I said on the text.
That's right. So you have recovered from your trade and come to win, whereas Todd might be on the other side of that trade this week. So let's look at
It
your
wasn't because of Dak, that's for sure.
No. He did very well. Jalen Hurts had a really good day in that loss to Kansas City with 34 points. Austin Eckler with 31. Very nice in that awesome Monday night game. If you missed that, go back and watch that. And DJ Moore was clearly Mr. Darnold's favorite target on Sunday in that loss to Dallas. The Bucks got you in a respectable defensive score of
18, yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Yep. While Kevin had 22 with Matty Stafford and 22 with Jonathan Taylor, but the rest of his team didn't show up. So I'm sure he'll be taking them out to the garage and grabbing a socket wrench to give him a shot in the knee and hopefully motivate them for next week. Let's move
Yes.
on to the next one. This is, oh God, this is the first loss.
Okay.
Not looking forward to this.
Yes, I told you this was coming, and you didn't heed my warning. You started a bunch of scrubs. Oh, wow.
It's like I
Okay.
had.
Dawn was able to put up 138 in a very low scoring game for her this season, but it was still plenty to take down the 119 points scored by Hale Satan. And I think all of your starters were there. Tom Brady, Dalvin Cook was back. What happened? Good job, Dawn. She retains her undefeated record. And now there are only two. We'll get to that. But
And
you, sir,
then
have
there
an
were
L
two.
in your column, or one on your L column finally.
Looks like Satan met his match with the power of Christ that compelled Dawn to beat me. She had a good day with Kyler Murray. Obviously, they might be, at least 4 weeks into the season, the team to beat right now. They are just playing lights out football along with Chase Edmonds, her running back, which killed me because I really like Kyler Murray. And all day long, hey, he's doing great. That's awesome. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm playing against him. And Kenny Galladay in a great win for New York. That was a nutty win. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. And meanwhile, on my side, yeah, what happened was a lot of bad things. Tom Brady coming back to New England. Tom Brady come back to New England. There was clearly some emotion going on in that game that motivated those scrubs from New England that are left over after he left him. And with no Gronk and no Geo, Tom's game was definitely affected. And maybe it was a little bit of the weather, but it doesn't matter. 11 points is unacceptable, and Tom will have to be have a talking to
You'll have a speaking to.
with Beelzebub, yes. And Dalvin Cook, maybe they rushed him back a little too early. I would have preferred one or the other. Instead, they split the time, and Dalvin got the short end of the stick there. CeeDee Lamb, hello, Dallas offense. You guys played awesome, and I'm happy for Zeke, but feed my man CD. He needs a few more targets. Meanwhile, both Don and I underscored our projections, and I guess my performance would
Yes.
be considered anemic at this point, but we'll see how Satan rebounds in week 5. Let's move on to the next matchup. It's your brother versus
The next one, we get the Wild Poopers.
yeah,
Springfield United. Good job, Johnny. Gets his
big
win
win.
for the
Mm-hmm.
season. And the Wild Poopers just ended up getting a couple of bad weeks in a row. And suddenly it's like 500 for her. Keep your head up though, Kat. We got the Springfield United scored 141. A lot of thanks to Patrick Mahomes in that unbelievable game he had.
Yeah.
For Kat, she was only able to do 127. Too bad she didn't play you. She would have won that game. She got 20 from
Oh, this is going to be a
Tannehill,
recurring night theme. I see.
27 from Henry, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets north of 21.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes was the story for Johnny.
Well, what happened to DJ Chark?
Well, that's what I'm
DJ
trying to
Chark.
remember because I remember watching that game, and I don't know if he started or if he was out and maybe missed by Kat. And if that's the case, I'm going to blame Todd because he should have told her, as he's told a few lucky people when they were there missing people. Meanwhile, Johnny had a nice day with Calvin Ridley in Atlanta's loss and Dallas Goedert in the loss to Philly. On the other side, even though they're good scores for Tannehill and Henry, they both lost to the Jets that were a big surprise to everybody, especially my defense, but that's another story. And Clyde had a good day, so sorry about that, Cat, but I'm sure you're going to bounce back. You got a team built to last, and I'm sure they're going to bounce back this next week. Next up, we have Greg versus...
Hey, on
yes,
your
sir.
screen, is your whole head in there? Because all I see is like your nose, your eyes, and your cap.
Can
like
you see more of
that
it now?
stupid.
Are my
Yes, I
lips in
can.
there? Okay.
It
Oh,
just barely.
like this? You want this? No.
Yeah, no, you're like that.
Okay.
That stupid Kilroy was
Kilroy.
your
Exactly.
drawing.
Exactly.
That's you on this. There you go.
Drawing.
I can
Okay.
see your face now, pretty much.
Got it. Okay.
Great
Continue
setup
on.
you got going this week. Okay,
Perfect.
we've got Love, Hugs, and Ice Cream score a very respectable 192. Well done, sir. Aaron Rodgers showing up finally with 28. And look at the production out of his top 4 starters here. 28, 31, 20, and 20. Not too shabby. 192 takes down the punishment due. Like I said, it wasn't because of Dak. Dak got him 35-02. So trade's still working out well for him. We've got David Montgomery, who played well, almost 25, and Corey Davis with almost 25. He got 146. Wish he would have played you. Would have won that one, but he played Greg, and it did not work out.
Keep it rolling. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers unfortunately showed what a good aging quarterback looks like, unlike my man Ben in that loss to in that loss to Green Bay with Pittsburgh. Saquon finally showed up and looked really good for 31 points in that win over New Orleans. And James Robinson, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars finally figured out that, hey, you know what? We shouldn't split time with this guy. He needs to be the workhorse, and look what they did. Stephon Diggs is also nice. The real story here was the 40-0 whooping against Houston that the Bills put on. They got him 31 from his defense. That's pretty impressive. On the other side, yep, Todd did great with Dak. David Montgomery did great right up until he blasted his knee out and hyperextended it, and will be out 4 to 5 weeks. So that's going to hurt. We'll see what the long-term repercussions are for him and Todd's team. Boy, Todd, that's bad luck on top of bad luck. And then Corey Davis with a very nice day. Again, like I said, the Jets showed up finally, and they had a good day, and maybe that'll continue, and that'll help push Todd up. And again, talk about the tale of 2 defenses. Look at Todd's poor defense, 0.04. Talk about a big chasm between those two. So that kind of put him in the uphill battle. But congrats to Mr. Greg, and sorry about that, Todd. And I've lost my mouse. There it is. Okay. And boom, to the next one. Now we're up to, my poor mother again.
Braille Bombers,
big
she
whooping.
does manage to score 144, but went up against Terry's team, just a juggernaut this week. I was like, wait, what did she score? Don told me 227. I was like, holy shit. Josh Allen, 24. Tyreek Hill with almost 50.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson with 37. Force CA.
IDP. Ask Clemens. That's his expertise. His IDPs.
19 points. Geez, look at that. And you didn't even highlight some other big ones. Marquez Brown, 19. Wow. What do you need, though, when you've got Tyreek Hill scoring?
Exactly.
50 almost.
Yep. So poor mama, her only bright spots again. Russell Wilson, Darnell Mooney had a nice game. I barely know the man's name, but he had a good game. And James Conner, proven to be a very effective second back, even though they split time in Arizona. Meanwhile, Josh Allen dealing against Houston in that 40-0 beatdown, 24 points. Tyreek Hill, the freak, 49 points. That is just insane against Philadelphia. Cordell Patterson, he might be the story of the Fantasy Football League. Again, second back to Mike Davis in Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't look all that great this year, but somehow Cordell is just putting up numbers that just keep going north. And Atlanta, for whatever reason, has figured out the perfect way to use him. This guy's been banging around the league for years, never been this well utilized. So good for him. I feel good for him. I'm mad I don't have him, but good for him, and I hope he does well. And boy,
look at Mama's defense. And did Robbie Gould not play?
He
It
got,
had
you ready for
21,
this?
but
I know,
yeah.
you ready for this? He got injured in warm-ups. So after they had already announced all the in and out, while they're warming up, oh, out, So I mean, maybe she could have checked and got him out of there in time, but
I
I even
doubt
think
it.
to look
That's
for a
it.
kicker for crying out loud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But be that as it may, poor mama's in a slump and she thinks she's never going to get out. But that's the Chicken Little in her speaking, I'm sure. Moving on to, oh goodness, the flea versus flea.
Lot of
I
dongs in this one.
I still don't understand where
We've
this
got
came from.
Flea's gyrating dong,
Don't
gyrating
say it.
all
Don't
over
say that.
Flea's wood stock to the tune of 182. The guy's average is just nuts this year. I think this might be one of his lower scores. Well
Yeah.
done, Jason. 182. He gets the win over Flea's wood stock, who respectable one, no, maybe a little low 127. Would have beaten you, but he didn't play you. He played Jason.
Sure.
Herbert shows up. Zeke shows up. Jefferson shows up. But oh my, the Rams, is that -4?
Yes, it is. That
That's
was
not
going to
gonna
be one of
help.
the speaking points. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, Jason just is tearing up the league,
Yeah.
much like Flea tore up the stage that night with the sword fight. It looks like between these two. Jason, I love that Debo Samuel, that wide receiver for San Francisco, ended up getting
Yeah.
40. They used him all.
40.
Yeah, they used him in all kinds of interesting packages. They used him as a running back one time, and I think he scored a touchdown on that running back move. Terry McLaurin had one of the most amazing plays. If you didn't see this, you should YouTube it. There's a play where the backup quarterback Taylor Heineke gets free. He's going around. He's about to get sacked. He throws it in a horrible way, just completely up into the end zone. There are two defenders there. McLaurin falls down, but while the two defenders stand there for Atlanta, he gets up on his knees and catches the touchdown. I'm like, what were the? I can only imagine the tape day with those two defenders going, you two are standing up and you let this guy catch a touchdown for Washington. It was nuts. So huge day. Dawson Knox, he's got him as a tight end. I guess he figured out his tight end problem, and thankfully Buffalo did for him too. Justin Herbert in that great Chargers game, 27 points for Joseph. Zeke had a great day with 22. Justin Jefferson with 20, and again, -4 for his Rams. He scored a decent one that, you're right, would have beat me, but didn't have enough to beat Big Daddy Jay. So Jay is still ruling the roost with that.
Not many of us did have enough. Terry had enough. That's about it.
Yeah.
But no, Greg did too. He had to. Okay,
let's
go
get to the
standings. Okay, Brockway, Malibu extends her lead to 2 games in that. She's still undefeated 4-0. The Wild Poopers at 2-2. And Johnny puts one on the board this week. A division game, no less. Good job, Johnny. He's on the board. 1-3. Over to Ogdenville. Hail Satan. Somehow, some way, still retains his top spot in the division. That's because he's got the soft division. I mean, look at 1-3 is second place.
Keep
500
going.
is going to make playoffs in this division.
Keep going. Wait till the next one.
North
Stupid.
Haverbrook. Flea's gyrating dong, the second undefeated remaining team in the division, in the entire league. He's at 4-0. He's got another soft division with 1-3 out of both of his.
Thank you.
Terry finally on the board. Good job, Terry. 1-3. Mama in a bit of a slump, also at 1-3. But look at that. 1 week, Terry goes from winless to second place in her division. And then finally, the cream, basically the cream of the league, is the Springfield division. Scratch and claw my way back to the top. The record of 3-1 with my win over the halfback Mustangs, and Flea's wood stock falls to 1-3, bringing up the rear there. So 2 undefeated teams, Malibu. So Don and Jason, very well done. Rest of us are all playing catch up.
Absolutely, and yeah, like you said, there's some big parity in the North Haverbrook and the Ogdenville with the 1-3s versus the 3-1 or 4-0s, and then there's a lot more close ones in Springfield. Malibu. Yeah, there's some parity between the Poopers and Stacy's only 2 games back. Springfield's struggling, but it's still early in the year. Lots can happen. So let's see what happens as we move into week 5. Let's move on to. I thought this would be fun to look at.
Oh yeah, we're doing this one again. Okay.
Well, I thought since we're 4 weeks into the season, let's just take a little temperature reading here and look how people started, where they ended up, and where we look at who's trending, So go ahead and take your bite of Snickers so that you feel more like yourself. And tell me about it, Mr. Diabetes.
I will do that. So as a reminder for people who may not remember this, what this graph shows is based on where ESPN predicted your draft went on draft day to where they think you are now after these first 4 weeks, and it gives you a trend of where you're going. So this is interesting. I like this one. So Malibu and Kim, look at that. 1 and 2, the married couple. They thought we were 1 and 2 coming after the draft. Yeah, we have fallen just slightly to 2 and 3, but we're holding our own. Well done, Dawn. The Wild Poopers, however, they thought that she did top 3 on draft day, but is slipping quite a bit, down to 9. Ouch. We've got another drop here too for Lug, Hugs, and Ice Cream. Granted, he's coming off of a big win, so maybe he's on the right track going forward. And the punishment due, I gotta say, he got hurt with some injuries. They had him right around 5th on draft day. They don't like his progress at this point. But again, I think he's making a change in the right direction. A Gentleman's 4 Quarterlies. Now, Terry, they thought you were at 6, and they're after this week are going to move you up to 5th overall. So that's interesting. Fleas Wood, they think you're right where you were. Average on
no change.
Draft day, average now. Springfield United. Gianni, I know you just got a big win. That's good. But they didn't like you on draft day, and they hate you right now after 4 weeks. They got you in 12th. Braille Bombers weren't impressed on draft day. Losing a little confidence now. I think she's on the slip. Let's hope she can turn that around. Hail Satan. Boy, they hated you on draft day. Must have been the Tom Brady pick. But they like where you're going with your team. You do have a good team. They are 3-1, which is one of the better records in the league. They've got you at 4th right now. The halfback Mustangs, Clemens.
Impressive.
This, like Matt, is the or actually these next 3 are ESPN. We're going to correct you, son. You had it all wrong on draft day. Halfback Mustangs, they thought you were second to last on draft day, but they've moved you all the way to 6th. And we've got the Cinderella story.
Oh my.
Please, gyrating dongs. They really did not like you on draft day, but who's laughing now? After just 4 weeks, they realized they've made such a drastic mistake. They moved you from last to 1st. Worst to 1st, you climb 11 spots. They really like your team at this point in time. So do I. As of right now, it's Jay, Don, myself, and you, sir, are in 4th.
Yes, sir. Exactly. So yes, that I thought this was kind of fun. We'll do this a couple times a year just to see where it goes.
Fun, yeah.
But for now, for now, this is where we stand. Let's move to the next one. And the next thing is our waiver wire today. Only one real contest, and that was with that stud tight end out of Dallas, Dalton Schultz. Looks like Karen from Roseville. So Mr. Jason tried to go for $2, and Greg outbid him with 5. And this is a guy who caught, I think, 2 touchdowns on Sunday. So that's pretty low for a guy who caught 2 touchdowns. Oh shoot, I went too far. Wait, how do I go back? Back. There we go. But hey, good for you, Greg. You got him for $5. I added an IDP. Karen added the Cowboy. The best one here though that I should have highlighted was again Karen from Roseville. This is between Todd and Jason. There wasn't a contest, but both those guys love them some Josh Gordon. He keeps coming back around no matter how many weed tests he fails. He's back in it again. Will he show up and be the 2013 Josh Gordon? I don't know, but we will see. It should be lots of fun to watch him. I'm going to stop sharing now, and then you're going to take over for this week's matchups. Yeah.
Let me share my screen here.
Share it, baby.
Okay, share away, and we've got it slowly coming. Okay.
All right, let's see
if I click the right one.
Yeah, and I gotta move this box to up here, because when you pull it up, if we roll down enough, I think we can see all of it, but it's still painting on my end. I don't know if it's still painting on your end, but the wheels are turning. Oh, now we got an ad. Oh, you gotta love the ads. Thanks, ESPN. Okay, here we go. No, wrong one. No, we need the other one. So whatever the opposite of that is. Standing by. Looking for a target.
Yeah. Just give me a second. So, Luke, you've switched off your targeting computer. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm all right.
Okay, we want, if I can.
Get in a signal. Keep your eyes peeled for those fighters. Dude, what are you doing?
Okay, we want
all over the
score,
place.
No, this is the other one.
Okay, I know.
Oh,
I'm waiting to see it.
To it, and then you can do this. Yes, you wait. Sit there and wait patiently.
Oh,
Why don't you talk about your get together? Why this is loading?
My get together. What get together did I
The
have?
league get together.
Oh yes. I think Joe might have responded about, hey, anytime, any place, I'm good. I don't think anybody else did, so it was quite a fizzle. I'm going to pass this off to Terry and say, Terry, this is your gig now. You push this and get everybody together. Bless you, and we'll see where we go. Was that a sneeze or are you just coughing? What, Dr. Evil? Yeah, have some more soda. That's going to help you.
I'm coughing.
Are you drinking LaCroix? LaCroix?
No, I cannot stand that shit.
What are you drinking?
Any of those seltzers and any of those Wild Claw. Oh,
White Claw. Oh, that sounds gross.
I don't know how anybody honestly can drink any of that stuff. I don't know.
I know.
Okay,
dude, how long is this thing taking?
I don't know. I got internet problems. It's painting right now.
It's because Korea's planted some evil North Korean chips
they
in there.
Probably have.
And
one of these files I got.
You're going to be snapped up for the Squid Game. Don't tell me more. I'm only on episode 5. They're playing marbles.
Oh, I'm not. You're ahead of me then. So
okay, I'll be quiet then.
Yes, and you be quiet.
I'll be quiet.
What is going on?
I got no idea, dude. But
all right, why don't you try sharing your screen?
You are the best.
Well, I don't know what it's doing.
It's called the computers. They do things sometimes. All right,
they do things sometimes.
They do things.
Hey, while you're pulling that up, I was able to converse with Clemens earlier today. Kev, it was great talking to you.
Nice.
We were talking engine stuff.
What brought that up?
I'm looking at carburetors, and I wanted to know if he preferred Edelbrock or Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to talking about cars and doing a rebuild. And
does it depend on what car it's going into, or is it just the part itself that's a debate?
Just the part itself. Yeah, the intake manifolds on a lot of these older cars are not that different. It's either a 2-barrel, 4-barrel. On the 4-barrel, I think it's a square bore and a spread bore, and they're all the same. So there's 3 types, basically 4 types. There might be a different 2-barrel intake than the one I have, but they also sell adapter plates, so you could get them to work on just about anything.
I'm still waiting for mine. It's doing a lot of spinning. Maybe it's ESPN and not you. I hate to admit that, but at least mine is still spinning too. So I'm getting the same thing, and we may be at a loss and have to go to our phones and just talk about the matchups versus seeing it, because it's just spinning and spinning. I'm going to try it on my phone while that's waiting. Hold on, let me grab my phone. Let me look here and see what I can find on this one. Snooze. Okay, let's go here.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry for this malfunction. We didn't.
I think we're going. Well, I think we were going through the Facebook server that was busted this week earlier.
Is it you that took that down, or was it Clement? Did he back over a wire?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Okay, I've got the matchups here on my phone. It came up no problem. So I'm going to go to your matchup, and we'll just have to have people envision the matchups, and we'll talk about the notable things, because like you said, ESPN must be having some problems, because
that sounds good. And I could see some of it myself as well.
Okay. Because I've got it on my phone.
I go up against meaty haunches this week. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, I've got meaty.
Your screen is frozen, but I can hear you. Yeah. Oh, wait, now you move.
Okay, good. So again, this appears to be a division game. Man, I got three division games in a row. It likes me just a little bit, but they're calling this one close. As of right now, I see 167.7 for myself with 159.7 for Meaty Haunches. Now, Meaty Haunches, that's a return to this name, is it not?
Yes, it is. I guess he must have abandoned the other one and gone with that one. I'm trying to log into Chrome because I can't see what you can on the app, on the mobile app. Oh no, wait. I bet I can. Hold on. I think I'm just in the wrong place. Let me go. Damn it.
You are in the wrong place.
You better shut up. Okay, matchup.
So he's 1-3. I am 3-1. He's desperate for a win. I would like a win. So let's see what happens. They like Herbert for 23. Carr is another quarterback, so I can start him. And they like Zeke for 18. Myself, Adams at 22, Jalen Hurts at 22, and DJ Moore at 18. They really like DJ Moore, it looks like.
Well, DJ Moore was his, like I say, his favorite what do you call it, target for Sam Darnold. And who does Carolina play this week?
I don't have it.
It should show you there.
I'm on a different screen.
Are you on box score or matchup?
I'm on just the regular scoreboard.
Oh, I hate you so much.
If I click on box score, that's where it takes me to the spin thing.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get there through this, and it's not coming up. Geez, this is a nightmare. Let's try matchup. That works. It's thinking. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, I can see it, but it doesn't give me the other thing.
We'll just talk about the matchup.
All right, hold on a second. I'm just getting one more
They're
thing.
struggling.
This is the longest struggle ever, and this is just not. Nah, it's not coming up. I gotta go. I can't wait for this nonsense. I just gotta go back to the main one. Let's just go to this. Jesus.
Sorry, people.
This is just
they've logged off at this point.
They've already.
We should offer a prize. We'll do a secret word.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna say the word, and then exactly.
You win something from Matt.
Something. Go crazy.
You could have your choice of hundreds of unused tools. I'm sure. You
How
just go in and
dare
take
you?
your pick.
Some of
All
those tools
unused.
are lightly used. Okay, so let's talk about the matchup. Yeah, so you have Carolina, who lost to Dallas. They're looking for the comeback against Philadelphia. I think they have a good chance. Meanwhile, you got Cleveland going up against the red-hot Superchargers. Dallas plays a division foe in New York. Now, granted, I know Dallas is very talented and all that, but New York's going to give them a fight. It's a divisional game. You got Detroit going up against Minnesota. That should be a good matchup. Well, take it back. Detroit should be plowed over. And then Tampa Bay going up against a division foe in Miami. Now, granted, it's just Miami, and I'd like to think that they want to get their pass game going again. So we'll see. They're giving the edge to, it looks like, Cam Krusty, which is nice to see. But of course, I have to root for Meaty Haunches because all you do is talk bad about me, and Joe does nothing but love me. Next matchup.
Understood.
What do you got?
Okay, next we've got, although I will tell you this with the Chargers, yeah, they're playing very well. They almost blew that game with KC. They mismanaged that clock going down towards the end. They should have never scored. They should have ran the clock, ran the clock out and then tried to punch it in. If not, go for the field goal. And they don't win by as much. I understand that, but they wouldn't, KC wouldn't have had a chance.
Right.
You can't give those guys those chances. So I think they
got away with one.
Yeah, got away with one. Thank you. Okay, the next one that I showed, you want to do Springfield United and Malibu Stacy?
Sure.
Malibu looks to continue her undefeated season going against Springfield United in another division matchup. They like Dawn in this one, 162.2 versus Springfield United's 135.1. As always, they look at this. So they like Patrick Mahomes and Ridley with 26 and 17 respectively. But on Don's team, this can't be right, but they are projecting McCaffrey at 28.31 as of right now. I don't know how that can be, but that's what they're saying.
They're saying that he's going to come back. That's why they didn't put him on IR to begin with. That's
I thought 3 weeks. That's what I heard.
And it may be. We'll see. That's for now. That could change between now and Sunday. So you're right.
News for her.
So, oh my gosh, if she gets him back and Edmonds, she's not unstoppable, but she's darn near close to it with those two going. I mean, Edmonds is doing so well, and CMC is always going to do well when he's playing. And then she has such a very nice rest of her roster that it's going to be very hard to beat her. On the other side, like you said, Springfield's coming off a win. He's hoping to double up on that. We'll see which Jets show up this time. Is it the ones that have been falling apart or the good ones? I don't know what Atlanta's going to show up. It's going to be Atlanta versus the Jets, and I think that game is in London of all places. So that'll be fun. That'll be
Oh,
your
okay.
early Sunday morning game. So if you're up
I
on your
wonder if
calls,
jet lag plays a role in any of
I'm
that.
sure it does. And if you're watching your Korean stations at 5 a.m. on Friday night or whatever it is, you can tune
Yes,
in
yes.
at 6 a.m. to see the game, or 7 your time, maybe 6 or 7, maybe 5 your time. I've lost track. It's going to be early. That's all I know. And Kyle Pitts, the darling of Atlanta, everybody thought was going to be the stud tight end. Will he show up? I don't know. That might be this week, might be another week. I think the edge goes to Dawn. Hard to pick against her in this one, but good luck, Johnny. This is brother-in-law versus sister-in-law. So next up.
Next up, we got the Wild Poopers in a non-division matchup going
Mm-hmm.
against, her brother,
Brother.
the Punishment Due. So this is a sibling rivalry here. They think as of right now, it's going to be very close, 142 to 140. Cat's looking to get a lot from Henry, Tannehill, and Hopkins. On the flip side, they love Dak Prescott. Well done on that trade. And Metcalf for 20. Man, that's going to be a close one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I know that Tyler Lockett was dinged up last week, and so maybe Metcalf gets a few more of the targets this week. We will see. Prescott, like I said, going up against the Giants, even though it's a division foe, he should do well because the offense kind of runs through him. Meanwhile, you got Tennessee going up against Jacksonville, which should be a beatdown. That should be a get right game for them. This will be a good game. KC at Buffalo. That's going to be a good preview of some AFC matchups maybe later in the year. And Hopkins clearly might be the most talented receiver, maybe next to Tyreek Hill, hasn't been getting the targets that he did last year. Will that change this week? I don't know. We will see. Good luck to both of these folks. I'm going to root for Todd just because he's the underdog and he's had some bad breaks here with players going down, but it should be a good matchup. I hope there's some smack talk on the text line come Sunday. Next up,
we've got Hail Satan. If memory serves me, this is a
divisional
rematch
game
of week one, a division game and a rematch from week one. So, Greg, you have a chance here to get that win back. And this one's tight too. They're projecting Matt to get 161 and Hugs and Ice Cream to get 157 or 158, somewhere in the middle there. Tom Brady, they think that he's must do better than 11 points. We shall see. They're projecting almost 30 out of him. They like Dalvin Cook at 24. And why don't you put that floppy-haired freak Trevor Lawrence in place of Brady? They say he's going to get 20, double what Brady got last week. They both suck. Aaron Rodgers, they think he's going to get 24. Stephon Diggs, they like, and almost 20. And a nice to see return to form for Saquon Barkley. I hope it continues because last week he finally got scores that maybe he's had a couple since the injury, but that was nice.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks very nice after that surgically repaired knee. That last game was a big statement for him. Let's see if he can continue that again this week. Jacksonville going up against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense obviously gave up a lot to the Jets. Will they tighten it down against Jacksonville? I don't know. Rodgers going against Cincy. Oh, that kind of scares me. He could have a field day there. And meanwhile, my two running backs are huge question marks. As much as I love Dalvin Cook, is it 100% Dalvin Cook or is it a still healing Dalvin Cook? And Mike Davis is a flipping wild card that I'll be lucky if I get 10 from. The rest of them, I hope, will show up and we'll see where it goes from there. Obviously, I'm picking myself because I do not want to lose a divisional game after my first loss. So what's next?
Next, we've got the Braille Bombers. Hoping, this is not good for her.
No.
Another division matchup against the undefeated Karen from Roseville, who switched his team back. They're projecting him to get 182. I would laugh at that if his average wasn't 182.
I know.
It's something near that. So well done, Jason. So for Russ, they think Russell Wilson's going to do well. He always does at 26. And then it drops off after that. They got Waller next one up with not even 17, 16.6. They like Lamar Jackson at 26. He's been looking good. Cooper Kupp, again, another good, decent game. They think he's going to continue that at 25 points. And Alvin Kamara at 22.22. Quad twos for Alvin Kamara. They think this one's probably going to go to Jason. Although, I want to see Mama get things turning around, but Jason's just too powerful at the moment.
Yeah, this game looks almost inconceivable. This matchup reminds me of when the Giants first played New England in that Super Bowl, and Michael Strahan gave that great speech to his defense where he said, "Hey, why are we even showing up, right? We're just going to lose this game. No one expects us to win, so we might as well just pack it in and go home. Or we can try to make a little bit of an upset here and do what no one thinks we can do. Nobody believes in us but us, that kind of speech. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
Mom's players have that kind of speech and she comes back, because, yeah, it's going to be interesting, that Seattle LA Rams matchup, because that's the division matchup and that's a Thursday night game. So we'll know a lot more about that tomorrow night at this
Oh
time.
yeah, that's cool.
So that'll be interesting to see how both Russell does and how Cooper does in that game. Will the Rams passing game falter going to Seattle on the road? I don't know. We're going to see. Will Debo become another 40-point monster again this week? It's going against Arizona, that big one to beat. So that may be a little bit different for San Francisco. Again, another divisional game there. So I'm obviously pulling for my mom. Good luck, Mom. Let's hand Jason his first loss and make it improbable. Last matchup.
Finally, we've got what I'll call what a difference a week makes. Gentlemen four quarterlies going against the halfback Mustangs. They've got Terry up just a little bit at 161.5 to halfbacks basically 156.5. So they're calling it about 5 points, give or take, but they got Terry winning this one. They like Allen. Look at that, 31.5. I can't see who he's playing, but they must think he's going to have
Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Burrow for 20, and I think this is extremely conservative. They've got Tyreek Hill at 20. On the other team, we got Stafford at 27. They think they're going to continue that passing offense. And then it drops to Tyler Lockett and Aaron Jones out of Green Bay for just about 17.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup again, because that KC Buffalo game, that's going to tilt a lot of this stuff. Same thing with Matty Stafford going against Seattle. Those are going to be fun quarterback matchups to watch. Aaron Jones against Cincy, he might have a big day going against Cincy, but Cincy's, they've been respectable. I think they're 3-1 now, so they're not falling around. They're not falling apart anymore. Is Lockett 100% healthy? If so, that could be a big day. Same thing with Jamar Chase from the other side. So this might be a really good close one. This might be your game of the week. It might come down to just a fraction of a point or a couple of points. So it should be a good matchup. I'm going to pull for Terry because I think she's one game back from halfback Mustangs overall. I think she's 1-3 and halfback is 2-2. So I'm going to pull for the underdog in that one, and we'll see how it goes. But at least we covered those games. Next week we'll try to fix our technical difficulties with those things. But that was fun. This is, so again, out of week 4, give me 2 things. I want 2 things from you. I want your biggest surprise of the league itself, just in terms of either a team or a player. And then same thing is same question, but with fantasy.
Yes.
So I need like a player that surprised you or is doing much worse than you thought they would. Can be either one.
Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of surprises and a couple of disappointments. How about that?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
On the surprises front, I'm really impressed with the Chargers. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it like this.
Yeah.
Same with the Rams. I mean, I know they brought in Stafford to, boost that passing game, and that's pretty much happened in just 4 weeks. So they look really, really good. Those are pleasant surprises.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a player that has surprised me, and I'm having a hard time. Brady's always good. Mahomes is always good. Christian McCaffrey, even though he got hurt, and that's huge, was a question mark. He's coming off of an injury. So I haven't really been surprised much. I guess on the disappointment side, Tampa Bay's D maybe a little bit. I mean, they had them as like the clear favorite going in, and it's just been average. Mm-hmm. That's one. But let's say disappointments. Let's say a Green Bay for the bulk of the season so far. Nothing week 1. They finally came back. I don't know. It just seemed like, I don't know. Have they won since then?
Yeah, they've won every game since then, I think.
Okay. All right.
So well, maybe that kind of destroys that myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while you're thinking,
I don't know. What about you?
Well, again, like I said, I'll reiterate the whole Cordell Patterson. That's been the biggest surprise fantasy wise, just because Yeah, they thought he'd catch some passes out of the backfield. They thought it might be a split time with Mike Davis, but he's clearly the guy you want in Atlanta that's running the ball because he's getting a ton of them. I think Washington for being, again, I don't think anybody saw Fitzmagic going the entire season. I knew everybody would get hurt. And Taylor Heineke, he's playing
Yeah.
okay for the Redskins. He's doing all right. He's making them competitive, and it'll be interesting. I think New York. Daniel Jones, while he's not lighting the world on fire, he's winning some games. So in a real world thing, those are kind of some instruments. The Cordell one's much more the fantasy one. I would say fantasy wise.
Cooper Kupp is a surprise to me
Well,
at that level. He's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
But
I think the difference is there. I'll add on to what you're saying. You're right. Cooper is clearly Matt Stafford's favorite, one that he has the most what do you call it? Chemistry with. Yeah, confidence in, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, poor Robert Woods has been left out in the woods without a lot of receptions. And he was the number one guy there last year. He was the guy that a lot of people picked this year over Cooper Kupp because Cooper may have the receptions, but Woods would have the touchdowns, the long touchdowns. And so far that hasn't materialized yet. We'll see if that works.
Maybe they're keying on him, and that's what's freeing up Kupp.
It could be. It'll be interesting. But yeah, Matty Stafford in LA is certainly lighting it up and doing well. Meanwhile, Goff is languishing in Detroit. They're trying to get something together there, but we'll see where that goes. But it's been an interesting season. Again, 4 weeks in, we know this much. It'll be interesting in week 8 to see, are all those things the same or have things radically changed and now everything's different. But it's getting to be that fun time of football to where things are starting to really solidify and we're seeing some trends, and it'll be fun to watch from here on out because now teams kind of have their footing. They played a couple of games. They're starting to reveal who they are, and we'll see if that can withstand the test of time over these 17 weeks this time, much less 16. So I'm excited about that, and our extra week that we get to maybe use to eke into the playoffs or get blown out either way. So that should be fun. But so again, I'm going to go back and leave this note for Terry that if you watch this, Terry, it's on you to get that wrangled up for a second thing.
It's on you.
No one cares when I said anything. Maybe I'll be more forceful if nobody says anything, but I'll give you 1 week to see what you can do, and then we'll give you the Chris Roscoe speech that Kevin can deliver. That you're out of here, and I'll take over from there.
Oh, by the way, you've already struck out twice.
Okay, listen, there's 3 strikes and you're out. You've already been out twice. Wait, when did the 2 happen? Don't match. Just say we're moving on. You have 1 more chance, and that's it. You screw it up, and you're off the team.
This is a true story.
That was one time when Mr. Anderson and I were in 100% agreement, and then we made you the fall guy, which was not cool. That's not.
Your captain, go tell him he's out.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're gonna say sign off from now. Sorry for those that have stuck around. Okay, give them the magic password, and then we'll have to find a prize for them. So you got to give them a password if they made it this long. And the first one that responds with this password, from whenever you watch this, the first person to respond with the password wins a prize. We'll come up with something funny. And Kevin, you give them a password.
Foliage.
Perfect. All right, so Kev, take us home.
All right, stay classy, Bonestorm.
Keep it quiet. My neighbor might not like it.